Guys,
I don't think it's one or two things. We have a style of play, how we play. The three most important things in our program is our standards of how we practice, the expectations we have of you to meet those standards every day, and then accountability. Those things never waver. So that's a big part of our practice. Defending with a purpose, understanding how we're going to defend multiple actions. When you think about defense, defense can be a noun, can be a verb, or it can be an adjective. Depends on how you look at it. And for us, it's a little bit of all three. But defense, if you break it down in its simplest form, is just guarding some kind of action. It's a back screen, a down screen, a cross screen, a diagonal screen, a pick and roll, isolation, stagger screen, something. But everybody's going to run something. There's, basketball's not a game of something new. Everybody's going to go out there and recreate the wheel. But actions don't win games, players do. And usually the team with the best players that are most disciplined, that are the toughest and with the best leadership usually win the most games. And that's why we've won so many games over the last 7 years. It's not just the last year, 2 years, 5 years. It's been since 15, 16 season. But those things we've been good at. But this new team, every team, it takes a while to get them to where you need them to go. But it's one of the good things about being a veteran coach. You don't overreact to a whole lot, good or bad.
Coach, talking to freshmen players who have committed, they all seem to mention a reason they chose Houston was the family atmosphere. Hearing that, how would you describe the family atmosphere and how important that is to you?
They did that at Oklahoma too. That question you said, if you go back and look at why Hollis Price committed to Oklahoma, or Taylor Griffin, or anybody, we've had so many. That's been the way things that I thought was important. Is I treat kids. Every kid I coach is somebody's son. I want to have a relationship with that kid, not just on the court. It's amazing what you can get them to do if they know you love them and you care about them. When they come on this campus, they see my daughter, they see my son, they see my former players. Everybody that works on my staff has a connection to me somewhere. I have a great assistant, Cole Rabideau. His father was my assistant coach for 11 years. That's why he's a great assistant. He has a connection. KC Beard, KC and I work together for the Canadian senior national team. He's been with me for almost 11 or 12 years now, including our stint there, going on 9 years here, so I'm going on about 11 years, I guess. Matt McDonald, our video guy, was manager here, and he worked another year as an intern. He's been with us for about seven or 8 years. So I don't hire people outside the program. I get a ton of requests, but my whole deal with my guys is if I hire somebody else's former players, well then who's going to hire mine? Their coach isn't going to hire my guys. I have kids that played at Duke or North Carolina or Michigan. Great Houston high school players went off to those schools. Well, if you came from Duke, you want to get into coaching, you should call Coach K, or Coach Williams, or Coach Izzo, or Coach whoever. If Quantas wants a job, they're not going to hire him, but I will, because he's part of my family.
Kelvin, can you talk a little bit about what you've seen from Reggie Chaney throughout the course of the past month?
Same thing I always see. He never changes. Tough kid, plays hard. If I told Reggie to run through a brick wall, he said, Coach, can I get a run to start? You ask me that 2 months from now, I'll give you the same answer. That's just who Reggie is. He does exactly what I tell him to do. and he does it exactly the way we want him to do it. He has no ego. You know, he's makes a lot of winning plays. You know, the uneducated figure if you're not scoring, you're not doing a whole lot, right? Reggie impacts the game in ways that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. J1 is the king of that. And we're trying to get a lot of our younger guys to be more, make more winning plays. You know, like for example, one of the things we did Saturday is they missed a free throw and we went after the rebound, didn't get it, and we stayed there and tried to steal it from them and got a dumb foul. It's a losing play. You know, a winning play is I didn't get the rebound, but I tipped it. When my teammate shot and missed, I tipped it, and somebody else got it and put it in. Well, I didn't get excited about the guy that put it in, but the people that watched the game said, oh, that's a good shot. No, that's a good tip. That's a winning play. So part of your job during this time of year is getting your kids to understand what winning plays are and what losing plays are. You know, creating winning plays. There's a lot of ways to impact winning. Contesting shots on the perimeter without fouling, for instance. Being in the right place on drives. Whoever's the crackback guy on a baseline drive, and whoever our breakoff guys, all our terminology, all those things. But my favorite time of the year is you know, we teach a lot of whole part whole method here, where we show them the whole thing. This is what it looks like. Then we support it with film. Then we support it with edits. Then we go back and teach it again. Then we go back to the film room. Then we break it down, break it down, break it down. And then we put it back together again, and then they say, oh yeah, now I see how we're doing that. But you're constantly doing that. You know, these freshmen have never been a role player. They've always been the team. But one of the key things here is you got to be a great teammate. You know, I promise you, ain't nobody on this coaching staff or on this team running around wanting a selfie from anybody or want somebody's autograph. That ain't the way this thing operates here. Everybody is the same. Everybody's role is different. And I know I repeat myself, so I apologize for that, but everybody's status is the same. That's why you have a great culture. That's why you know, you teach them to play for something bigger than themselves. That's as big a part of coaching as anything else. You know, somebody shoots, your job ain't to run back, son. You run there and go get it. When you shoot it, what do you think they're going to do? Oh, so you're not going to rebound when he shoots it? No, that's not the way this thing operates.
With Emmanuel, he has two parents that were professional players and just kind of grew up around that. You know, have you kind of seen that, I guess, experience maybe help his transition a little bit so far while he's been here?
Well, I think it helped him get here. His mother was an athlete of one of the, I don't remember what decade. I call her Tina. She's a Canadian, but she's athlete of the decade in that country. She's an amazing athlete. She and Derek both played professional basketball in Tel Aviv, in Israel, which is, by the way, is where Justin Gorham's playing now, same league. He played for Maccabi, which is the #1 team over there, but Justin's playing for one of the 2 or 3 top teams. You know, the recruiting process, all these kids are unique. None of them are the same. You know, Terrence Arsenault's recruiting was a lot different than Galen Robinson's. Damian Dotson's recruitment's a lot different than, say, Devin Davis. You know, I've had, this is my 9th team. Now, to me, in a lot of ways, they're all the same. You know, I don't have favorite teams. I love them all, but the recruiting process for all of them are all unique into themselves. There's some that don't have a parent that's involved. So obviously that's something that we're keenly aware of. Some of them just have a mother, some of them just have a father, some of them have both parents, some of them say AU coach or high school coach, but they all have a story. And usually when the season ends and I see them, I can go right back to the recruiting experience with them. And that's why, you know, that's why you hardly ever see any of our our top 10 players transfer. I think we've had one kid in 8 years. If you're in the top 10, then we've only had one kid to transfer. Well, I guess Sid counts. Sid and Caleb. That's it. How unique is that? You know, in this day and age, you should almost count on 2 or 3 a year, every year. We've had 2 in 8 years. So, but I think that has a lot to do with our culture, kind of kids we recruit, and the relationship we build with them once they get here.